Come visit us at Crow Country, an amusement park where the serene sounds of pure moods plays all day long. Say hi to our friendly staff, or take a ride on one of our well-maintained attractions. And did I mention our delectable concessions? Our park also has highly trained security for your peace of mind. So come on down, all the way down. We're waiting for you at Crow Country, now open.
Move over, Brandon Lee. Get out of the way, infected crows from RE1. There's a new top dog in town. That's Crow Country by SFB Games. Crow Country is a new retro survival horror game that takes influences from games like Resident Evil 1 and Silent Hill. But graphically, I'm also seeing an influence from games that have more of a blocky, cartoony style, like Final Fantasy VII and the relatively unknown Sunsoft game Trag, aka Tactical Rescue Assault Group. When it comes to retro survival horror, we have been eating good in recent years. We did have Tormented Souls, World of Horror, and then there was Signalis. So if you like those games, then I think you'll feel right at home with Crow Country. So for the story of Crow Country, you play as a junior police detective named Mara Forrest as she investigates the disappearance of a wealthy man named Edward Crow, who is the owner of the amusement park Crow Country, which you will become well acquainted with as you progress in the game. As Mara investigates the park, you'll quickly figure out that things aren't what they seem. You'll be introduced to an interesting cast of characters, as well as a variety of disturbing creatures known as the Guests. Along with staff in underground areas, you'll get to explore Fairy Tale Town, Haunted Hilltop, and Ocean Kingdom inside the park. Whether you dispose of the enemies you encounter or evade them, the choice is yours. Just remember that haste makes waste, and in true survival horror fashion, you are only given so much ammo in the game. Also, the game encourages you to utilize your surroundings. You can get rid of the Guests, especially the much larger ones, by shooting at explosive barrels, electrical panels, or chandeliers. You can also try leading them into bear traps. The game is so indebted to the retro style that outside of the 32-bit graphics, it also has the option to use tank controls. So if you choose this option for some of the newer gamers, you get to experience the only way that we could play these games in the 90s, which was tank controls. The game is short but sweet. It takes anywhere between maybe 4 and 6 hours. And part of the joy of that is it never outstays its welcome. It always stays engaging, exciting, scary, and refreshing. So all in all, I love this game and I think that it's well executed and it's a true tribute to the PS1 survival horror experience. I love the controls, I love the characters you meet, I love the enemy design, I love the setting in the amusement park. I really did like the boss battles in the game because when those pop up, you really don't expect them. They are terrifying, in my opinion. And I really love the music in the game too. It's very reminiscent of the ambient tracks from Silent Hill 1 by Akira Yamaoka, like Fear of the Dark, and even reminiscent of some of the atmospheric tracks from Parasite Eve 1 by Yoko Shimomura, like Memory 1 for example. I feel like as beautiful and piano synth driven that these tracks are, they do a really good job of creating this atmosphere that sounds like the 90s. And I want to leave the best for last, the story. The story absolutely blows most survival horror games out of the water. As you play the game and explore the park, I have to urge you to please pay attention to all of the dialogue, pick up and read every note that you can find, and by the time you get to the end of the game, if you have a full comprehension of the story, you're going to be absolutely blown away. At least I was, and it's definitely a story you're going to think about long after the credits have rolled. Again, I can't compliment the two brothers who made the game enough. So with that being said, I'm going to give this game 5 out of 5 goats. But let me take a step back. Does my love for survival horror give me rose-tinted glasses for this review? Let me explain. As a child who feels like they experienced the golden age of video games in the 90s, I have to consider that, as of late, I've been experiencing heavy nostalgia. For example, I've kind of been obsessed with dying malls, and recently I even took a trip to one. I feel like there's a lot of people like me that have been experiencing a longing for the past as of late. That's why I think a lot of us have been thinking back fondly on a lot of these games from our youth. And why I've been thinking about going to the mall as a teen. You know, you made a whole day out of it. You went to see a movie, you went to eat at the food court, you went to go play games at the mall arcade for hours. It was just the thing to do. And knowing that we're so far removed from these things, it gives you a deeper appreciation for the past and more gratitude towards those things, I think. Does this give me a biased review? Yes. But I don't think that's such a bad thing. Not saying that we need to be tied to the past, but it is something to have an appreciation for. I hope you liked my video and I hope you stick around for the next one. See you then.